evening. Tonight we have a really tremendous show in store for you. We've been up and down the strip gathering everything for poker tonight.
Card players stationed here at the Bellagio, following all the action at the Bellagio Cup 3 Tournament Series very closely. In fact, I got a chance to stop down in the Fontana room to bring you all the updates. We're back in the Fontana Lounge to give you guys an update on the Bellagio Cup 3 Tournament Series. Right now, event number 5, the $1,500 no limit event, is playing its final table right now. Out of 117 entrants, they are now down to 7. Per Ummer started the final table as chip leader with about $130,000 in chips, while second in chips only had about $50,000. Also at that final table is Jonathan Westra, event number 1's winner. Play will continue tonight until one winner emerges. Now, the event that started today was a $5,000 buy-in, no-limit hold'em tournament, and as always with the bigger buy-in tournaments, you're going to see some pros, such as Jennifer Tilley, Thomas Walrus, and Josh Aurier.
We'll let you know who takes first place in this $1,500 buy-in tournament. For more information on this tournament series, check out our video titled Bellagio Cup 3.
Another tournament series going on this summer on the Las Vegas Strip is the Venetian Deep Stack Extravaganza, which began June 1st and will continue until July 1st. Players begin with a larger starting stack, which characterizes the Deep Stack tournaments. Players and amateurs alike have been crowding the Venetian poker room since the events began.
As Christy said, the Venetian tournaments have been drawing huge crowds, and over $3.3 million in prize money has already been awarded. Now, this is the second time that the Venetian has run a Deep Stack Extravaganza tournament. The first time that they ran it, it ran from late February through early March. During that entire period, all of the prizes awarded totaled $1.6 million, so this one has drawn a lot more people and a lot more money.
The 38th Annual World Series of Poker had only one tournament starting today, and that was the $1,500 no-limit event that began at noon. The current chip leader is Siggy Stockinger, while second in chips is 2006 U.S. PC champion Alex Jacob. Other big names up there in the chip counts are TJ Cloutier, Phil Gordon, and David Williams. Now, Brett Gank Jungblut is one of the players in this event, and he has built a nice chip stack from the starting chip stack of $3,000 up to about $9,000.
Now, right before play began today, Brett came by the Card Player Studios. He talked a little bit to us about his World Series of Poker history, and he also explained why it is so important for young poker players to have financial backers for tournament play. Brett, you've been around the World Series for a few years now. What first brought you out to Vegas for the '03 World Series?
Well, the World Series did. I came out and, you know, I had I think at that time I had like a couple $1,000s to my name. And I came out to try to satellite into the main event, and I bubbled the satellite.
So did you play any events that year?
No, I didn't play any events that year, and '04 was the first year I started playing events. And I actually had a great year. Like, I cashed 5 times and won a bracelet.
Tell us about winning the bracelet.
It was like a dream come true. You know, it's like something I'd been working towards for 7 years, or 5, 6 years at the time, and you know, you're not supposed to reach your dream, not like on your first try. So you know, it took me a while to really, you know, get a grasp and reset goals, and you know, just take a broader look at the poker world.
So how'd you build up your bankroll between '03 and '04 to be able to buy into some events at the '04 World Series?
Well, I was for the most part an online player.
Okay.
And so at the end of '03, I was like a huge name online. I was winning like every other tournament I played, and poker was getting so big.
For those who might not know, what was your online name?
I'm Gank online, so yeah, so I was just like winning every other tournament I played, and so
Padding your bankroll?
Padding my bankroll, and I was living with Phil Locke at the time, and he was looking to put someone in, and so he started backing me back in January of '04, and has been backing me ever since.
So your live play has been dependent upon like people helping you out at the beginning?
Well, yeah. Well, see, the thing with like the big poker tournaments, $10,000 buy-in tournaments, and like the average college guy coming out of college, you know,
it's a big jump.
Yeah, to be playing in those events properly with a proper bankroll, you need $400,000 or $500,000, $1 million, like to be comfortable, because like you can go 10, 20 in a row without really making a cash, and that's like a big chunk. So
how does the prize money get chopped up if you do have a backer? Is that dependent on every situation?
Yeah, I think everyone's going to have their own certain situation, and the length of time you're going to be with someone, the amount of trust there is between people. I just happen to get like the perfect guy, and like we just have always hit it off.
Good relationship.
Great relationship.
It's got to be important for something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very important, and it's a very common thing as well in the poker world because of the huge buy-ins that do exist every week. Like
that's very true.
Yeah, most people can't. And it's not talked about that much, but I don't hide anything.
So, how about this year? How has this World Series of Poker gone for you so far?
A little disappointing. I got deep in the 1K rebuy. I took 37th.
How much was that good for?
It was good for 12,000, and I was in for 4,000. But it was disappointing, just because there's a lot of like big names still in, and I really felt like I was competing with everyone really well. And No Limit, I've always considered my weakest game, and I've really been working at it. So, I was disappointed that I couldn't get a little further in that. But the mixed games, I love all the mixed games that are out there, and it's just been some hell on some days, but I'm looking forward to the second half of it.
If Brett's past World Series of Poker performances are any indication, he should do very well in today's event, especially with an above-average chip stack. Although he did mention that No Limit is not his best game, hopefully the poker gods will be on his side.
Today there's only one final table at the Rio, and that is the World Championship 7-card stud high-low event. Now, over 200 players began in this tournament, and there were only 5 remaining. 4 of them are well-known poker professionals. The chip leader going into this final table was Eli Lesver, and he's still the chip leader. Also at that final table are Scotty Wen, Dutch Boyd, and David Sklansky. Thor Hansen was eliminated in 6th place.
2 tournaments are on day 2 today at the World Series. The $5,000 horse event has a prize pool of just over $900,000, which was built by 200 entrants. Chip leader going into day 2 is Sam Grizzle, and he has continued building and keeps that chip lead. Also remaining are Gavin Smith, Eric Seidel, Phil Ivey, Cindy Violet, and John Juanda.
The other tournament playing day 2 right now is event number 25, a $2,000 buy-in no limit event. Over 1,600 players entered this tournament, which built a prize pool of over $3 million. The chip leader going into day 2 was Pete Auer, but he dropped down the second chip position, and the current chip leader is Derek Boyce. Also remaining in this $2,000 buy-in no limit tournament is Card Player's own COO Jeff Schulman.
We wanted to give you guys an interview from the online poker community, and who better than to interview Brian Townsend. Earlier today, Lizzie got a chance to sit down with Brian to share tips for online poker players, as well as to thank 2003 main event champion Chris Moneymaker for returning him to poker.
Brian, you're the leading online money winner for 2007 so far on various internet sites. What do you credit your success to?
Just a lot of hard work and a lot of hard play. I put in as many hands, if not more, than most people, so it's no surprise that, that's the case. If a lot of the other players had played a lot more, I think they would have similar results to me.
Okay.
So,
what would you say would be your best advice to maybe a novice player who wants to start playing on the internet? A good strategy?
I'd say really focus, and I used to do a lot of other things while I was playing. I'd
surf the web.
Yeah, surf the web.
Multi-table.
Multi-tabling is okay, but you really have to find the limit of tables, and I found 4 is the best for me. Some players play up to 12 or even more, and I could never do that successfully. So about 4 was my limit, and really focusing on your game and paying attention to what's going on, because it's very easy to watch Sports Center or do any other thing.
So how did you transition so easily from online play to live play?
Well, I guess I'm a believer that it's the same game. People try to make this live tell thing into some mystical thing, but it's really just a pretty straightforward math game. And so I think I had the fundamentals down from my online play, and it was just an easy transition.
And when you originally started playing online poker, what brought you into poker to begin with?
Initially we started with like $5 buy-in tournaments at my friend's house, and we'd just sit around having some beers, the classic college story. Saw Moneymaker, the 2003 World Series, and got really into it, put $50 online, lost that, redeposited with $300, and just went from there.
What would you say is the biggest mistake novice online players make?
I think it goes back to that lack of attention, lack of focus, just not really giving their play their whole attention.
And what about experienced players? Do they have a common flaw that they have online that they might not exhibit in live play?
Yeah, I think it's very easy to just keep playing for hours on end, even when you're exhausted online. You're just sitting at your computer, you're in your room, you're all by yourself.
You're already in your pajamas.
Yeah, exactly, and you just don't stop. And
what would you say is a good length for a session?
It really depends on the player, but I like to do a lot of like 3-hour sessions. That's what I find is optimum for me. But some players, play 24/7. It seems like they never quit, and I think that hurts their game overall.
So you would tell players that, especially if you're new to online poker, just take your time, focus really hard, and
start off, play for a couple hours, go hit the beach, go to the gym, go for a run, do something else, come back. You'll be much more focused, you'll be much more attentive to the game, and that'll really improve your results.
Brian, you have a video on our website from Card Runners. It's actually its own channel on the online zone. What's that all about?
Well, Card Runners is working with Card Player TV just to do some promotional 10-minute videos to give more of the general playing audience an idea of what Card Runners is about and the type of videos we produce there. So I think it's once a month we're putting out these 10-minute videos to give people an idea of what Card Runners has to offer and hopefully interest them in joining up in the community.
And what exactly is Card Runners? What is the goal of the business model, I should say, maybe?
Yeah, the business model is it's a bunch of young, really successful professional poker players who play the highest limits in the world and are some of the most successful players, got together and created this site where we're creating videos to help beginning players all the way up to the 10-20 no limit range, and even some 25-50 and 50-100 no limit players. So it's basically helping people grow like I did from that 10 cent, 25 cent, or 25 cent, 50 cent to get up to where you're successful in the 10-20, 25-50 no limit.
Townsend really seems to be living every poker player's dream. If you aspire to succeed like he did, make sure to check out the Card Runners videos that are available on cardplayer.com.
And now it's time for a brand new segment on Poker Tonight, which you guys will be treated to on a regular basis. Mike Matusow stopped by earlier, and he had a very special, heartfelt message for all of you. May I present to you A Moment with Mike the Mouth Matusow.
And now, A Moment with Mike.
I'm getting warm and I gotta fucking poop.
This moment was brought to you by Mike the Mouth Matusow.
Thanks, Mike. To see more of what Mike has to say, which is quite a bit, check out the Mouthpiece on Card Player TV.
That's all we have for you on this episode of Poker Tonight. Of course, we'll be back tomorrow with another episode. Good night.
Good night.